All right, I'll give you one guess. What's this myth about?
Duct tape.
Airplanes?
And bears. It's the old "a bear mauled my airplane" story.
Oh, this is the one where a bear tears into a landed plane to get the food. When the pilot returns, sees the damage, but uses duct tape to repair it and flies out of there.
It's a crazy tale that sent the internet into a tailspin. The story goes that an Alaskan local stumbles upon a stranded plane, tears apart the aircraft, presumably searching for a free lunch, and wanders back into the woods to do what bears do. And our pilot returns to find he's not flying anywhere. It may sound like a tall story, but the pictured evidence is real. Our hero did in fact repair the extensive damage with duct tape. But the question on everyone's social network site is, could the pilot really have flown the patched up plane home?
Look, this sounds like a really tough checklist. I mean, first we need a plane, and second we need a bear to maul it.
Well, the good news is we found a pilot that's actually going to let us use his plane for our myth.
Really? That's great. What about the bear?
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna be able to take a plane up to Alaska and have a wild bear tear into it. I mean, that's just too unreliable. I mean, we could build our own claws and tear it up ourselves.
Now I like that idea.
You gonna be the bear? So we are testing the myth, can you repair a plane with duct tape? Now, when I first heard this myth, I thought this was fertile grounds for MythBusters. We're building a plane. A bear tears into an airplane to get food. When the pilot returns to his plane, sees the damage done, repairs it with duct tape, and then flies out. Now, before we start, we need to build a plane.
And our generous aircraft owner is James, who confirms his tentative relationship with sanity
Tell you we're building a plane?
by not only allowing the Wrong brothers to assemble the plane,
I wouldn't trust us to put a plane together.
but also by volunteering to fly it after they recreate the myth by tearing it apart and sticking it back together with duct tape.
Now, to test this, we can't use the actual aircraft that was in the myth because the FAA frowns upon the type of modifications that we'd be doing to it and then trying to fly it. But what we have is the next best thing, a B-Light aircraft. It falls under an entirely different set of FAA guidelines, but it has a very similar envelope.
By envelope, Grant means the aircraft's outer skin, a flexible, state-of-the-art polyethylene-based material. A crucial component of the experiment is that ours matches the myth. That way, the team is testing like for like. They also like the location.
We've come out to the New Jerusalem Airfield in Tracy, California. First, we're going to fly our plane, and then it's time to bring out the bear.
But before Mama Bear bares her claws, the team wants a pre-mauled control flight to confirm their flying machine is in full working order.
So what James is doing right now is putting the plane through its paces. That's awesome! Just to see if our assembly worked, if everything is working correctly, so that we know what it's gonna do after it's been repaired.
Plane looks good. Now it's time for my favorite part, pulling out the claws.
And sporting a pair of heavy metal handpieces she made back at the shop, Kari is all set to let rip.
Codename, Grizzly. Now, we know a bear can tear up a plane. They've been known to peel cars right apart. But because no bears will be harmed in the filming of this MythBusters episode, I'm going to be the bear. I've created these somewhat destructive claws with razor-sharp edges so that I can tear the plane apart. Because everybody knows when it comes to a duct tape myth, destruction is kind of my job. All right, here we go.
In character, wielding her weapons in a furious flurry of slashes,
She's a wild woman.
Kari soon has the fuselage skin in tatters. With her razor-sharp claws, the damage done mirrors the mauling in the genuine photographic evidence. The central cavity is completely exposed. The tail section is seriously compromised, but the metal infrastructure is still intact.
So the damage that you see here is very similar to what we saw in the photos. The task now is to fix it with duct tape and then try and put it back in the air.
A high-stake task they'll tackle back at the shop.
We're really putting duct tape to the test this time. I mean, lives are on the line.
It's a fact that a bear mauled and grounded an Alaskan aircraft. And these photos, before and after the duct tape patch-up, are genuine. But what caused the MythBusters mailbox to overflow is the pilot's claim that he then flew the patched-up plane home. Kari, Grant, and Tory are about to test just that.
First, we took our aircraft up just to see what it could do.
That was awesome.
Then, turned myself into a grizzly bear just to see what sort of damage I could do. Now we've got a bunch of duct tape, and we need to see if we can actually repair this plane and make it airworthy again.
Because as things stand, just like the mythically mauled aircraft, it's definitely grounded.
With this plane in this condition, would you try and fly it?
Absolutely not. The first problem here is that we've lost our rudder, so I'm not going to have any directional control with the airplane. The good news is that we do have structural integrity, but the bad news is that the skin is gone and flapping in the breeze, creating drag. We've got this acting like a scoop. This is not going to fly straight.
No directional control, compromised control surfaces, and uneven drag.
All right, you guys ready to tape it up?
Sounds like a job for the MythBusters' favorite engineering cure-all. But surely it's a stretch. Replacing the aircraft's $13,000 aerodynamic fabric covering with a few rolls of $5 duct tape? And while Kari and Tory focus on the fuselage, Grant concentrates on the crucial control surfaces.
So we've done a lot of damage to this plane, both to the fuselage and the tail section. But this right here, this is the most important part. This is called the horizontal stabilizer. This is called the vertical stabilizer. They're called stabilizers for a very important reason, because they keep the plane stable.
Stability and steering are obviously priorities when fixing a plane, but a strategy to stay intact in flight is fairly important too.
All right, the way we're repairing the plane, we did one skin of duct tape going vertically, and now we've covered it with another skin going horizontally. This way it is in line with the travel of the plane, because we don't want any edges to get caught on the wind and unravel what we have made. We'll have this done before the bear returns.
It's certainly a quick fix. The question is, will it have the necessary structural integrity for a stable flight? Will they come unstuck? With the finished fix-up looking airworthy, there's only one way to find out.
The true test is when we take this thing up in the air, but personally, I think duct tape is plausible for fixing a plane.
Kari's clearly confident it'll work. However, back out on location,
Hope it flies.
as the moment approaches when James will be risking serious injury on their behalf, their confidence that duct tape will withstand the elements and the rigors of flight is replaced with a nervous caution.
It is so hot out here, and as it gets hotter, the duct tape loses its stickiness. Not only that, we don't know how the tape is going to react once it's up in the air and the wind speed is going across it. I mean, the wind might catch an edge and rip the tape off. This could be very bad. So I think we need to get this plane up as soon as possible.
Next myth, can duct tape fix a pilot?
Been good knowing you.
Nice knowing you.
Despite the danger of the duct tape coming unstuck in the 90-degree heat,
Clip prop.
they won't be rushing into anything.
We're gonna do this the safe and methodical way. So if this thing goes south, we all run, right?
Run is the plan?
Yeah.
And that is first. James is gonna taxi up and down the runway just to make sure all the control surfaces are okay.
So far, so good. I don't see any duct tape whipping in the wind.
Once he's comfortable with that, then he's gonna take it up for the real flight.
With several cautious runs up and down the runway, happy that everything feels right, James gives the signal that he's ready to try this for real. This is it. Will the temporary sticky solution survive the rigors of flight? Is it really possible to fix your plane with duct tape?
There he goes.
Exciting.
This guy is insane.
If it were survival, you'd have to do it, right?
We fixed the plane with duct tape. Let's see if it holds.
It totally works.
Dude.
Let's hope it does hold.
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
gonna circle a little bit first. Let's make sure it holds, because things can still go wrong.
Kari's correct. Getting off the ground is one thing, returning to it safely is another.
One interesting thing is that the duct tape is actually flapping a lot more than the Dacron, so I don't know how long you could actually fly like this.
Yep, the airflow across the striped, uneven surface is causing the duct tape to shudder and ripple.
Hope it doesn't shake apart.
But James is apparently having no trouble maintaining altitude or making controlled maneuvers. And there's no sign that duct tape is delaminating.
It's looking pretty stable right now.
And when flight time ticks over the 30-minute mark, the team is confident they can call the result.
This is awesome. This is one more confirmed myth for duct tape. Bear mauls a plane, you can fix it with duct tape and get it back in the air.
How cool is this? I mean, we have done a lot of things with duct tape, but never have we done something that is so important as keeping an aircraft in the air. This one is totally confirmed.
It worked!
That was great!
Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Fixing a plane with duct tape, confirmed.
Stay away from bears. I'm starting to think that maybe duct tape can do absolutely anything.
And up next, the team is going to test that claim by stretching their high-flying heroics to the limit. They're making a whole plane out of duct tape. It turns out that in a bear-induced pinch, like this Alaskan anecdote, you can in fact fix your plane with duct tape.
Okay, so the myth is confirmed, but I'm kind of curious. Do you think we could make an entire plane out of duct tape?
I like it, but how do we do it safely? We could do it with radio control, but a full-size unmanned aircraft requires FAA certification, and that could take forever.
Well, there is one thing we could do, and that's get a pilot, not just anyone, but a skilled test pilot that's used to flying experimental airplanes. And let's face it, it doesn't get any more experimental than this, and then we'll see if the duct tape works.
Experimental is right. By replacing all of the aircraft's high-tech fuselage fabric, the team is taking duct tape to its aerodynamic limit.
Now, so far, we've been very successful at repairing our plane using duct tape and flying it, thus confirming our myth. But that was only one control surface and part of the fuselage. Now it's time to put it to the ultimate test. And that means ripping up and replacing every surface on this plane with duct tape. And to do that, we're going to use not only our bear claws, but also any sharp tool we can find in the shop.
However, if breaking it was fun, furious, and fast, fixing it is going to be anything but. It's as tough a challenge as Team Duct Tape has ever faced.
Now our plane is stripped and it's time to cover it with duct tape. But we can't just go slapping it on here. I mean, it's not like just plugging a hole. This is a whole different ball game, and it's going to require some strategy.
Their first strategic decision will be weight management. The material they're replacing is equal in mass to just 5 rolls. So to retain the aircraft's balance and power-to-weight ratio, they'll want to use 5 rolls or less. But that is going to be very tricky.
With gravity laying down the law, this is a high-tension build in more ways than one. Now, if we don't use enough duct tape, or if our quick fix isn't solid enough, it's going to be just as disastrous as if we use too much.
And here's why.
So if we analyze the high-speed footage of our flight with the duct tape side, what we see are vibrations that look like ripples in water. Now, with any system that has vibration, what you could do is develop a resonance frequency. And if that happens, it could literally shake itself apart.
To avoid that, they'll need structural integrity and a smooth aerodynamic surface. Their solution is cross-hatched layering. With the base layer adding sufficient stiffness and the top layer running in the same direction as the airflow, their design is looking up. But with their 5-roll limit long gone, their prospects are going down.
When we ripped off the skin of the airplane and weighed it, it weighed 10 pounds, which equated to 5 rolls of duct tape. So far, we've burned through 10. So we have more than doubled the weight of our airplane already, and we're not even finished. But I mean, that's what you get when you're using duct tape and you want the strength and the smoothness, you're gonna be adding more weight. I mean, when this is all said and done, this thing might not even get off the ground.
And as 10 rolls become 11, then 12, and ever upwards, The additional mass is becoming a serious problem. However, once the build is complete, it doesn't stop Tory from pretending to be a fighter pilot.
We finished our final duct tape plane. Now we tore off all of the covering and fixed it with 17 rolls of duct tape. That's pushing the weight limit, and this thing is dangerous enough on its own. So we're not just gonna throw our test pilot up into the air. We're gonna do a little wind tunnel testing first, with our own special kind of wind tunnel.
Now clearly, we're just in the parking lot. We're not in a wind tunnel like we're normally used to seeing at NASA. But the most important thing here is that we simulate the type of airspeed that this aircraft is going to experience. That's why we have this Hollywood wind machine. That ought to be enough.
Now the way we're gonna test this is we are gonna fire up the fan to the speeds that the airplane is gonna be moving at.
I don't know why I get this job. I can barely fly.
And then what we're gonna do is we are gonna watch the duct tape and see how it reacts to those wind speeds. See whether or not it's flapping or tearing. All right, starting the fan.
I'll measure the wind speed.
Most importantly, we are seeing if the duct tape is gonna hold.
30.
Because let's face it, more important that we find out down here than it is up in the air.
40.
Once the fan matches the airspeed of the aircraft,
50. Okay, come on.
Tory and Grant inspect every inch of the duct tape surface, looking for any aerodynamic compromises. And they're extremely happy with their handiwork.
That looks good.
So it's onwards and upwards.
We got up to a wind speed of 50, which is what the test pilot wants to take it up to. So I say we take it up in the air.
All right, let's see if it flies.
Can I fly? I've had a lot of practice just now.
Fasten your seatbelt and stow your tray table. The MythBusters are attempting a duct tape takeoff.
We're back at New Jerusalem Airport for the final experiment with our duct tape plane. And up to this point, we have played it very safe. We've only tested it on the ground with a giant fan, and we're ready to go. This is gonna be the ultimate test.
For the ultimate test of their duct tape plane, that's right, a duct tape plane, the team made a call to the ultimate test flight Top Gun.
For our duct tape experiment, we're using test pilot Dave Moore. Now, he's flown over 40 prototype aircrafts. Those are airplanes that have never been flown before. I think that makes him the perfect person for this job. In fact, I think I hear him now.
Nice flyby. Now, here's Tory with the flight plan.
He's gonna start off slow. First, he's gonna taxi down the runway. Then, when he feels comfortable, he's actually gonna take it up, but only as high as he's willing to fall, which is 5 feet. This is the most dangerous test that we have ever subjected duct tape to. We have our fire department standing by. Let's hope we don't have to use them.
Make no mistake, this is a risky business. Even with a typically low-altitude test flight, a crash at over 50 miles an hour with no hard shell protection or roll cage could be disastrous.
All right. Down the runway.
Before Top Gun Dave attempts flight, he needs to thoroughly test the aircraft's responses while taxiing.
He's a test pilot. This is what he does. So he's feeling it out to see if it's actually airworthy.
And the early signs are anything but promising. As he taxis faster, gusting crosswinds become a real issue, and the plane looks unstable.
Looks like he's kind of wavering back and forth a bit.
Yeah, you know what? Adding all that duct tape has actually moved his center of gravity way back. He's tail heavy right now.
I don't know, he just shut off the engine. He may have changed his mind.
Clearly, something's not right.
Turn the engine off. What's going on?
Well, it's getting kind of gusty. I can't tell what the wind is doing and what the duct tape's doing, and I need to be sure which is which.
Flying a prototype is all about feedback and feel. The wind, peaking at 30 miles an hour when the plane is rated for just 12, is dangerous enough in itself. But more importantly, it's masking any feedback info from the aircraft's control surfaces.
Our test pilot started taxi down the runway. The tail was a little squirrely, but then he stopped. It looks like it's getting thrown around by the wind, and he needs to be able to tell if it's the duct tape or the wind that's making him move around. Because if it's the duct tape and we start to get a resonance, it could make him crash.
We don't want the airflow coming over the wing to peel it back. That'd be bad.
With the duct tape pressed firmly back into position, it's a race against time. The longer the tape is exposed to the sun, the more likely it is it'll unstick. But there's good news. With the wind easing, Dave resumes his tentative taxiing. And after one more earthbound run, the team gets the signal that Dave is ready to attempt the world's first duct tape liftoff.
This is it, he's going for it.
To shoot the tail off the ground.
That was indeed the maiden voyage of an aircraft made of the world's most useful sticky stuff.
Great job! Awesome!
With the wind still gusting over the 12 miles an hour limit, that's as high as Dave was prepared to go.
So our duct tape plane actually achieved flight. Now, granted, it wasn't a very long flight at not a very high altitude, but look, these planes, stock off the line with regular covering, no duct tape at all, would have a hard time flying in these gusty winds. I'm fully convinced that on a calmer day, Dave could have gotten a much longer flight at a higher altitude. The Wright brothers, their first flight, only 120 feet. We beat them.
Dave, you did it. You flew a duct tape plane and survived.
You
still
betcha.
alive.
And I'm still here.
How'd it do?
It was so much better than I expected. We're flying in gusty wind conditions that exceed what the airplane's recommended to fly in with normal fabric on it. And it's doing great. It was a heck of a ride, but it did great.
So, successful experiment?
Confirmed.
Yep, when confronted with a grisly, sticky situation, duct tape has once again exceeded all engineering expectations. Myth confirmed.